The world has changed, and we have been here for a long time unraveling the mysteries of our distant past. Despite the passage of time, certain discoveries remain deeply disconcerting, from strange relics to mystifying constructions. These amazing discoveries should not exist in the records of antiquity. Number 1. Leonardo da Vinci's robots. Leonardo da Vinci's fascination with automation and robotics transcended the technological limitations of his time, as evidenced by his design sketches dating back to 1495 and rediscovered in the 1950s. These extraordinary notes offer glimpses into da Vinci's visionary mind. Vinci and his pioneering efforts in the field of robotics, despite lacking access to modern technology. Da Vinci's designs for a humanoid combat robot show his ingenuity and creativity. This mechanical marvel, capable of autonomous movement, is a testament to his unparalleled attention to detail and anatomical precision. In the pages of his sketchbooks, Da Vinci meticulously detailed the intricate mechanisms and movements of his robotic creation. The humanoid knight, designed to sit, stand and perform basic actions, represents a remarkable fusion of art and engineering. Although Da Vinci's robot may have remained a conceptual prototype, its existence is a testament to his innovative contributions to the field of automation, centuries ahead of his time. Da Vinci's visionary designs continue to inspire and influence modern robotics research, underscoring the enduring legacy of his genius. Number 2. Among the numerous hieroglyphs and reliefs carved into ancient Egyptian structures, an enigmatic image adorning a temple wall has sparked intense debate. The light of Dendera represents a strange light bulb-like object extending from a sacred pillar. Some fringe theorists believe this represents an electric light bulb, which would suggest that the ancient Egyptians had advanced energy technology. However, mainstream Egyptologists argue that it has a more esoteric meaning. The controversial image appears in the Temple of Hathor in Dendera, along the Nile River, south of Cairo. The temple was built in the 1st century BC. During that time, they carved a scene showing figures gesturing toward a pillar called Jed with a bulbous part at the top. Below, you see a shape that looks like a lotus flower and a lamp. Some believe this could represent an ancient electrical system, but there is no solid evidence to support that idea. The most common explanation is that it has a religious meaning, where the Jed pillar symbolizes stability and the bulbous part represents the sun god Ra. Since the temple was dedicated to the goddess Hathor, it is likely that this image has meaning related to religion and astrology rather than technology. Number 3. King Tutankhamun's Space Dagger. In the 1920s, Tutankhamun's tomb was discovered, sparking Egyptomania with everyone focused on the discovery of the young pharaoh's never-before-seen tomb. One artifact was overlooked, a dagger that was buried alongside thousands of other treasures. This weapon is now known as King Tut's Space Dagger. The dagger's blade, made of meteoritic iron, was found to have a high nickel content. For a long time, researchers were puzzled by the composition of this meteorite. After all, it contains material that appears to be from another planet. With all the theories surrounding the ancient Egyptians being connected to aliens, many believe that the dagger was another gift given by aliens who visited the ancient Egyptians. This may sound absurd, but there is some truth in this. Recent studies revealed that the dagger contained almost the same composition as the Kar meteorite, found at Merenmitru near Alexandria. However, rather than being a gift from aliens, the dagger's craftsmanship suggests that it was likely not produced in Egypt, but was probably a prestigious gift from the Mitanni Empire to Tutankhamun's grandfather. The material of the dagger, and the techniques used to create it suggest a sophisticated level of craftsmanship. For this reason, many still believe that the young pharaoh's dagger is not of human origin. Number 4. The Main Penny, an ancient reliquary discovered in 1957, has inspired fascination and debate ever since. This artifact, believed to date from the era of King Olaf Kyrre, better known as Olaf the Peaceful, who ruled Norway nearly a millennium ago, provides intriguing information about Norse exploration and trade networks. The main penny was once mistaken for a British coin due to its appearance, but close study by archaeologists showed its true origin. Contrary to popular belief, the coin is of Norse origin, shedding light on the extent of the Viking expedition in the New World. The discovery of this silver coin provides vital insight into Viking raids beyond their Scandinavian homelands. It involves a vast network of trade and exploration that challenges previous perceptions of Norse interaction with distant regions. The main penny is a tangible link to a bygone period, a monument to the bold spirit of the Vikings and their lasting mark on historical records. Number 5. 400-year-old church. Perhaps this is one of the most incredible discoveries in this video. For many years, a church could be seen rising from the surface of the waters of one of the reservoirs in Mexico, or rather, the top of a church was accessible. This could only be reached by boat, and it is difficult to believe that the entire structure is beneath the waters. And yet, that is what a drought in 2023 revealed. That year, an intense heat wave spread in several parts of Mexico. The state of Chiapas was one of the most affected, leading many bodies of water in the area to reach dangerously low levels. The church, built in the 16th century by Dominican friars, was partially submerged for decades in the Nicoyo Reservoir. However, due to a drought, the entire structure was exposed. Originally, the church was a place of worship for the inhabitants of the village of San Encachila, but in 1966 it was deliberately flooded to build the Nicoyo hydroelectric dam. Number 6. About 7,000 years ago the Guadalparo dolmen was created. This megalithic formation consists of 144 standing stones, some reaching up to 6 feet tall, arranged in a circular formation reminiscent of Stonehenge in England, earning it the same name. In addition to being known as the Guadalparo dolmen, this formation is also known as the Spanish Stonehenge. Although England's Stonehenge is more famous and iconic, the Guadalparo dolmen was built first. However, like Stonehenge, the purpose of the dolmen remains a mystery. Archaeologists believe it could have been a tomb, a site for religious rituals, or even a trading center due to its strategic location near the river. The structure was so significant that its builders transported granite stones from miles away to create it. But to this day we are not completely sure. This monument was first found and excavated in the 1920s by German archaeologist Hugo Obermeier, but its significance was not fully understood. In 1963, the megalithic structure was deliberately flooded to build the Valdecañas Reservoir. For decades, the Guadalparo dolmen was underwater, only visible in parts. However, in 2019, a drought hit Europe and Spain was affected. The Guadalparo dolmen fully emerged, generating new interest in its study and requests for its relocation to protect it. However, moving an archaeological site is difficult, and to this day, the Spanish Stonehenge remains in place, only visible when the waters recede. Number 7. One of these amazing finds in the depths of Catacamas, Honduras, is a unique archaeological treasure, the Cave of the Shining Skulls, also known as the Taldwa Caves. This site has captured the imagination of explorers and scientists since its discovery in 1994 by speleologists Desiderio Reyes and Jorge Yanes. The distinctive feature of this cave lies in the effect of its calcite crystals, which gave the human bones deposited by ancient civilizations a peculiar luminosity. Natural lime carbonate, known as calcite, dissolved in the water of the caves, settling on the remains and preserving them with a white layer that fused them with the soil. The accidental discovery took place during an expedition along the Taldwa River. The explorers stumbled upon a cave filled with pottery and human remains, revealing an unexpected archaeological treasure. The human bones found in these caves date back more than 900 years BC, providing scientists with a unique window to study the cultural practices and living conditions of ancient populations in the region. This exceptional geological phenomenon, where nature and history intertwine, continues to intrigue experts who continue to use modern technology to explore the depths of these caves. The Cave of Shining Skulls not only illuminates Honduras' past, but also sheds light on traditions and beliefs that have endured through the centuries. In its mysterious glow, this archaeological site remains a fascinating enigma that sparks the curiosity and admiration of those seeking to understand the secrets of the past. Number 8. On the vast plains of Oudtshoorn, near Klerksdorp in South Africa, lies an archaeological mystery that has baffled scientists since their discovery in the early 20th century, the Klerksdorp spheres. These small metal objects, with remarkably smooth and identical surfaces, date back to an astonishing age, more than 3 billion years old. The Klerksdorp spheres have captured the attention of the scientific community due to their peculiar shape and the strangely carved grooves on their surface. Although some scientists have suggested that the unique appearance of these spheres could be the result of the gradual accumulation of minerals over eons, uncertainty remains as to their true purpose, their geological origin, and their exact age. This archaeological enigma highlights the continuing ability of scientists to explore and confront mysteries that have not yet been fully solved. Despite the various theories proposed over the years, the Klerksdorp spheres remain a fascinating enigma, reminding us how much remains to be discovered in the most ancient and mysterious corners of our past. The search for answers continues, underscoring the intrigue and challenge presented by exploring unique archaeological objects like these enigmatic spheres. Number 9. The fire at the Notre Dame Church in Paris was a tragic event that shocked the world on April 15, 2019. Notre Dame, considered one of the most famous and iconic churches in the world, suffered serious damage when a massive fire exploded and destroyed part of the structure, including the roof. The fire was a significant challenge for French firefighters and authorities, who worked hard to control the flames and save what remained of the historic structure. Despite the damage, much of the church and its treasures were able to be preserved thanks to the efforts of emergency teams. Restoration of Notre Dame began shortly after the fire, with the intention of returning the church to its historic splendor. Considerable efforts were made to raise funds and coordinate restoration work, which included rebuilding the roof and spire, which collapsed during the fire. During this process, 2 coffins were discovered in the church, each with ashes inside. One of these coffins is claimed to have belonged to a high priest named Antoine Delafort, and contained a large amount of hair. By analyzing these elements, scientists determined that Delafort was a habitual alcohol drinker. It is mentioned that the differences in the design of the TWA bed confirm that these people did not live at the same time. The second coffin contained the remains of an unidentified man, whose age is estimated to be between 25 and 40 years old. Some believe that this man belonged to a different era than Antoine, which has sparked the curiosity of many scholars who seek to investigate and explore to identify the ancient characteristics of that era in which these people lived. Number 10. Next, we have the Iron Pillar of Delhi, a 23-foot-tall structure in the courtyard of the Qawwal Islam Mosque in New Delhi, the oldest mosque in northern India. The pillar, which is around 1,600 years old, appears to be a simple pillar at first glance, but upon closer inspection you realize why this incredible ancient structure deserves a place on this list. It is made of iron, and although iron is a powerful structural material, it is susceptible to rust, meaning that over time it begins to deteriorate. However, this pillar has remained strong as ever and without any trace of rust. This surprising property has amazed researchers for years, many of whom question its origin, as it could be an indication of why it still stands today. Many claim that it is of alien origin or a mythical object sent to Earth by the gods. Scientists have also proposed many theories to explain this metallurgical wonder. However, the inscriptions on its shaft tell the story of its origin. King Chandra, who ruled the Gupta Empire around the 4th to 7th century AD, instructed that the pillar be built as a monument in celebration of his numerous victories in war and to be dedicated to the Hindu god Vishnu. Number 11. Plato's alarm clock. Most of us own an alarm clock, that device next to your bed that you both love and hate. But did you know that the first alarm clock in history was invented by Plato, a Greek philosopher who lived between 428 BC and 348 BC? Plato had a water clock, the type of clock that was popular in ancient Greece, and he modified it to chime at certain times of the day. In a water clock, water drips from one container to another through a small hole and, as long as the size of the container remains the same, the clock counts down an amount of time. Plato altered this design to achieve his own purpose by adding a tube to the filling container. The last container has a small opening and makes a hissing noise as it fills, effectively waking Plato up at the set time. Although the design of Plato's alarm clock was not as intricate or sophisticated as modern alarm clocks, it worked effectively and many people who used it woke up on time. Number 12. Throughout history, we have witnessed genius at its finest, and few have been as amazing as Leonardo da Vinci, an Italian polymath who lived between 1452 and 1519. He excelled in various areas such as painting, engineering, drawing, science, sculpture, and architecture. While he is known for his paintings, many of which are rare pieces today, he is also famous for his inventions. One of them, less known, is the first armored vehicle that he designed in 1487. This tank of Da Vinci was one of his most innovative inventions, transforming the way modern warfare worked. He described the design in his notebook, the Codex Atlanticus, which consisted of a circular platform mounted on 4 wheels and operated by a crew of 8. The vehicle was protected by a cover inspired by a turtle shell, with a sloping surface to repel enemy fire. Although the first modern tank was invented in 1915, this ancient piece of engineering is amazing and has been considered the prototype for today's design. Although a pacifist, Da Vinci sought the patronage of leaders of his time, such as the Duke of Milan and Cesare Borgia, by offering his skills as a war engineer. He designed the tank to protect soldiers and confront their enemies with cannons around the vehicle. Although it is unknown if it was used in war due to certain design flaws, this concept remains notable in history. Number 13. The automatic door. Although the first modern automatic door that we all know today was invented in 1931 by 2 American engineers, Horace H. Raymond and Sheldon S. Roby, who designed the first optical device that could open an automatic door for a restaurant and thus help the waiters to bring plates and glasses. However, the first automatic door dates back to the 1st century AD, invented by Heron of Alexandria, a mathematician who lived in ancient Egypt and was interested in the practical applications of mathematics. The automatic door used a hydraulic system to open and close. The operating system was quite simple: a brass vessel, some containers, and a pulley system. The brass vessel, partially filled with water, was suspended over a fire, and as the water heated, air built up inside the brass vessel, forcing the water to flow into the containers. The weight of these containers would activate the pulley system and open the automatic doors. Heron's automatic doors were installed in a temple and opened once a day when worshippers arrived, a process that would take hours, from lighting the altar fire to opening the doors. Although this old automatic door was not as functional as modern automatic doors, it was still a wonder to everyone at that time and still today.